this. So do you counter that by using utility maybe a little bit more in spots you know they're going to hit, or do you pull an extra AR and try to just lock down?
How was yoga? Modified yoga was good. What's good, Streaks?
Oh, well, that's going to help when you're finding that first blood onto their most aggressive SMG player.
Did he just get killed on outer propane by a nade by Cameron McGilligan?
With the nade over the top, but you can already see how aggressive Omid Brooklyn are coming out on their attack around 2 players behind enemy lines.
What is this? What is this? Vivid, good response. Also saw the second brilliant shots towards Cam. He doesn't finally get the kill. But this
any hot yoga moms? Yeah, there was a few. There was a few. I had to refrain. I had to reset in my lane.
Vivid responds to it. Purge.
No temptations out here, man.
He's hunting out the trade onto 1. Shadow pulls his attention from the second, though, and Force Space do recover after a very gut check call from Amit.
And that's a 2v4 right there at a Force Space. Great place for Vivid to find that initial kill, but Welly all the way across the map wins a one-on-one gunfight, eventually gets back to his teammate to assist him, and they're able to successfully walk away with the 2v4 to start that off. If you were looking for a momentum change...
Thanks for putting me on Fidelity stream yesterday. Dude, there's a G like you. Yeah, Tyler's a beast.
Really well done.
Tyler's a really good player. He's a really good dude. Very good pro player. Knows how to play the game and win.
Yeah.
Solid man. Big fan of T-Fellow.
Good discipline from Vivid, good help from Welly. Okay, so here we go. Trophy system's down. Early days for Force Space. Not looking to get super aggressive in atypical ways. This is just a straight-up gunfight at range. Awakening confirms his own trade with a late nade, but Welly, his first blood has opened up B Street completely.
Yeah, it's a perfect trade on that side to dominate that side of the map now.
Good team shots. Great reads. Phenomenal reads.
Finds one across the map, and Vivid closes out the round. So Force Space not wasting any time to try to dominate this high rise. 2 very, very quick rounds up 2-0.
Yep. Okay. And very different than what we would have expected.
Yep.
Still a lot of map to be played with for sure, but Force Space respond and also get proactive in their own ways. So it definitely feels like the heads have been screwed on straight here, at least to start. Just comes down to what can we get, again, like you mentioned, out of that first blood potential from Grays. I think especially on the offensive side, but we know he likes to get aggressive on both sides of the bomb. This time it will be Grays playing over towards B alley, a little bit safer than normal. Right on in towards B. I don't know if Purge saw him or not. He did take a quick look through B alley, and he is playing pretty the backside of these generators, so we'll see. This might just be a bit waiting out the utility first.
They do have a little bit of info, though, that at least a player is close in towards the site with that stun connecting. Cammy also finds that first blow onto Vivid, who's a soul man over towards A. So now you're going to pull a couple players from Force Space on that side of the map. Crazy is able to find one. Proloot effective for the trade, 2v2.
Yeah, great trades here for Force Space. Problem is, where's everybody else? And well, Cammy, who was maybe about to jump right on top of Welly, gets dealt with by Mock. Shots towards Awakening, push him off, and again, delay the regen. So tough 1v2 here for Awakening, trying to get out of these windows. Gets a little bit of space to work with here, but 33 seconds, needs the bomb and needs to still find where the other player is.
Oh, he wasn't able to spot Welly on top of the generators, but he is going to get the info onto Mock, who is on 3 in a row.
Oh, he almost caught him.
Seconds left. Mock is going to somehow
oh my God. He almost caught him. Vivid still being the league man, 100%. There's so many good players and challengers.
At least the Force Space secured in their 3rd round.
That's how it's always going to be, though. There's always going to be a lot of good players and challengers. It's just the honest, it's truth of it all.
Could have slipped behind the propane and reset for that gunfight versus Mock, but Welly locks in just the nick of time. Good start from Welly here in these first 3 rounds, and more so for Force Space. Got yourself up 3-0 early. Now I'm at Brooklyn, who came out with a vigorous and
put me in the league. I mean, hit me with the 50 gifted. Hit me with the 50 gifted. Get us back to 1,000 subs, and we'll sign you with the contract, Slothy the Sloth. We're going to give you that contract ASAP, baby.
They get that early first bird, so they're in a 3v4, but eventually still lose it. Now on the defensive side, they go back to the original play out of the SMG duo in Purge and Proloot. You take a little bit of bottom blue control. You find that initial first blood. Cammy finds a second. This is an Omid round.
Yep, absolutely. Should be at least, especially with Proloot rapid behind Mock. Unsure where he went, but the isolation's good. And Welly, yeah, he's got nowhere to go.
So far, so good. It's a good bounce-back map for Force Space. They lost their first round. It's a 3-1 lead now in the S&D high-rise. Force Space over Omid Brooklyn. They lost first map, Rio Hardpoint 250 to 125. This is going to be a big bounce-back map for them if they want to tie the series up 1-1. Winners bracket finals.
First blood in towards bottom blue, and Now, if
Winner moves on to grand finals.
they're being super aggressive on the map.
I played against you a few times, Mr. Doug Censor Martin. Listen, man.
Find the final couple to
Money talks,
secure the
Slothy
first
Sloth.
round of the map.
Money talks, man.
But this is where they have to show the adjustments. They found those early first couple of kills, but we had to start thinking about that objective in the back of our mind.
Looks like another quick hit here for Purge. Stunned up. Really doesn't reveal too much, although the defense, again, heavy stack through B. Craze is, again, playing a very aggressive angle. Awakening was also affected by a lot of this utility. He opted to not throw the trophy system, so Craze will get forward for free. Now it just comes down to...
For 50 gifted, I better get some of that Hawk Twa from you or some. We'll make something happen for sure.
Yeah, they killed Welly at Propane, but I don't know if they still have a...
Cammy with the first blood on Welly.
Over towards B Street, and now Vivid has filled that gap at that Propane area. But the entire time,
make that too.
Just throwing shoulders over here at the A shack, eventually able to force Mock out of positioning. They have the numbers advantage again.
Yeah, stun actually is going to reveal a lot here. I was about to say Craze was considering a long flank around the back that may have helped rewrap towards blue, but instead, Brooklyn killed the noise, and now the doubt starts to seek in for Force Space, saying we knew they were towards A, but now no one's here, so where have they gone? Complete mystery. Vivid's just going to post himself up in a corner. Bomb going to be planted at B. A couple of shots do come through. Does Vivid? Oh, doesn't catch him as the bomb's being planted. And a secondary look towards top Propane where Awakening.
Hey, yo, Neon.
Awakening is going to be able to spot him.
What's up?
Able to play his life so well. Somehow, some way, Craze just walked right into the preamp of Prelude to find that kill. 2v2 with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, good teamwork, though.
1v1. Ah, so close.
It could have gone either.
Should always have someone stay and spawn on defense on this map. You don't always have to. It wouldn't hurt, though. It's always a good guarantee to watch across from the spawn. Winners. The winner of this moves on to the grand final of the Elite. The loser of this plays tomorrow, and the winner of that will play in the final.
When that bomb goes down, Force Space somehow, some way are always keeping it very, very tight in those closing moments. 2 rounds in a row now, though, for Omit, as they go back on the defensive side where they have shown a little bit of success. But if you're Force Space, back to the aggression.
Crazy bomb carrier, though, so don't expect too much here in terms of how forward he gets. Holding over towards blue. Force Space still hunting for kills towards B Street, but this looks like eventually it may be a little bit of a wrap and maybe some focus here to see if they can get some defensive focus towards A. Oh, and that's so much intel for Craze. Shots are good. Are they good enough? Okay, they are. And a smoke comes through. That's actually from the defense, so that's also an important tool out of the mix here for Amit.
And Awakening instantly finds that trade onto Vivid, underground bottom blue, so still going to be a 3v3.
Yeah, good first blood from J Craze there on the pro loot.
A lot of ground away from Force Space. He's hit that side high pump. He gets info onto a player.
3v3, bombs going down.
Shots a little bit premature. Gives him a position, still a 3v3.
Yep. Cammy, though, is in a very slippery spot here. Welly up and over. Oh, now Cammy's position's known.
Big kill from Cammy on a mock. Jesus.
But he doesn't chow it with Welly. Cammy's able to turn that into a free kill now for a bit on the retake attempt. Cammy's still keeping Welly at bay. Has to call.
Welly's kind of trapped here. Awakening's going to get the kill.
Now he's the last one left. Craze is trying to play the post plant.
Yeah, he doesn't really ever play.
From topside Propane. Oh,
Cammy made the play on that round.
The challenges not well constructed from Force Space and Amit Brooklyn, able to reap the reward of it. And that's not just 3 in a row. There's also someone on a 5 spree.
Yeah, I don't know how Cammy was ready for that gunfight onto Mock. Like, you're realizing you're putting down shots, and a lot of shots at that towards top Propane. Somehow, some way, he finds that snap. And that was the deciding kill of the round. If Mock gets that kill, Force Space have the man advantage, is still holding down every power position, and you're forcing Omit to win some insane kind of gunfights to secure the round win. But when Cammy finds that kill, starts off the trades, everybody else from Force Space starts to scatter around because their setup got broken. And now with Awakening on 5 in a row, he just needs to pick up 1 kill for the Cruise.
If you don't mind me asking, Doug, but what happened to Boston Academy? We just disbanded it, and we took some of the people to the league, basically.
All the weirdest of ways. Again, it feels like that's just going to be par for the course today. 5 in a row for Awakening. Looking for kill number 6. Keep an eye on number 2 in the minimap because Craze is on the way behind. Quick route coming out, and it's going to be a free first blood onto Cammy. Awakening trying to put himself in a position to stop Craze from getting any more, but the offense is getting obliterated from both sides.
Oh, but Purge at least finds one. Keeps it still a manageable situation in a 3v2, but Awakening knows that Craze is still roaming behind enemy lines. It's some bad Call of Duty timing there, not able to spot him, and also that bomb being down around bottom pit. It's going to make this a lot more difficult for Ultimate. Purge falls, Awakening 1v3.
Yeah. And this is just about finding a cruise missile.
Whoa!
That's one way of earning it. Tucks himself in a corner, eventually gets found, but I mean, holy smokes. That was a hell of a set of shots. So the cruise missile gets earned, but the 4th round also gets tallied on the opposite side for 4 space.
Yeah, it's good for 4 space, good for Craze as well. To find that opening through bottom pit, work his way behind the spawn, find that initial first blood, and then just stay alive in that positioning. Usually, he would get a little bit overzealous, try to challenge for a second gunfight, but him just playing his life in the spawn of the opposing team is what allowed them to not really make a decision on their play call. And that leaves the 4 space secure in the round.
Whoa, okay. Awakening, tap it
eaten.
away. That will work. Vivid has to just hold his ground for a little bit. Nades over towards the alley, denied by trophy system as Awakening gets to work, trying to look for more hit markers. Nothing to find yet, but it is Purge, off angle, over the top of the B site. Good for first blood, and now it's about trying to isolate the player topside propane. And Purge is going to come up and over the back, and Mock has no way to respond to it. What an opening for Amit.
This is exactly what he was doing in Hardpoint, just running at you, hitting jump ups, putting himself in a position to find a couple kills. And already Ultimate Brooklyn, now in a 4v2. As now Craze has worked with the bomb in hand all the way behind enemy lines again. He loves to go for these pinches, and thankfully they keep on working out. He finds the kill, no Awakening, 3v2.
This is a tall though to come back.
4 space is going to get 4th place.
Honestly,
I mean,
it's
about to be a 4-4 S&D. They need to win this map, in my opinion.
That would have been a miracle.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, though, to ace him.
Defensive smoke is out, and yep, Amit Brooklyn have him completely isolated, nowhere to go. And we're tied at 4 here, Jay. Really big bounce back for Amit. I think, honestly, it's just they're starting to capitalize on the early success they're finding in these rounds now.
Yeah, and it's all on the back of Purge. Like, he finds that first blood off of the hop-up in towards the B site, then realizes there's still a player over at Propane, finds the second with a great route instead of going up the ladder because he was prepared for it. He goes on a hop-up, and he also finds the 3rd kill to close out the round. So, a couple individuals making plays for Ultimate Brooklyn to keep themselves into this game. It was Cammy a couple rounds ago. Awakening had his moment to at least pick up the cruise missile, but Purge in these final moments have been starting to take over.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Nathan stuns, Craze, trying to get aggressive through bottom blue. Doesn't work out. And again, these are the plays that we just don't expect players to make. I mean, this worked for 4 space last week, but Met Brooklyn are fully prepared, and now it's cruise missile time. This is going to guarantee them a 5th round. At least it should.
Yeah, they should isolate this player over at the elevator. At least I think that's where the commitment is going to come in with the missile. Or not, over towards the back window. It's going to be easy, though, because you give the comms to your teammates to find that kill. Now you should start working the objective. Yeah,
you call them out. You send the missile to the other side so you don't get any team kills. We know how that thing can be sometimes.
Yeah.
Vivid also trapped. I mean, this has been all Amit. Outside of a couple of follies and mistakes, Amit have really controlled the tempo of how this map has gone. And it's just one of those things, like, I can understand to a certain regard. You're doing something that people haven't seen or anticipated in the last handful of months, like these really cheeky run-ups like Craze that round, trying to get the blue from the defensive side. But it's like there's a reason that people don't do that in the CDL these days, because it's just so easy to counter, and that's just what happened right there.
And for some reason, 4 space are looking a little bit like Boston. Like, you remember how Boston used to always send Snoopy, go, you go, try to get everything done, and we're just going to sit in the back and hopefully find a little bit of success. That's sort of like the playstyle that Craze is playing with. You just don't have to take these risks, especially later into these rounds. It's now Omid at game point. Already showing presence in towards the B side. Craze has gotten a read on it, though. There goes the first blood.
Okay, much better. Well constructed here. They did over the top. Prolute wants the battle and gets away with it. Or does he? Yeah, just does. Camby actually picks up his spot. Mock was trying to chase down the trade. Doesn't work out, and once again, he'll have numbers here. 3v2 in round number 10. Do or die time for 4 space.
Yeah, and they gain the info onto Craze. He's still sitting in towards the B site.
Back with another banger. What's up, Baker boy?
As he's able to gain the info onto Cammy, find that second kill. Puts him in a 2v2 with 40 seconds.
Prolute thinking about it. Oh, he's going to hop. Awakening does not really have an angle to help him, although he does shut down Welly. Is anyone going to be able to get here in time to trust? Prolute had been damaged, and Praise finds the kill just before the defuse comes through. But Awakening up and over with the pistol. Beats him on the route. And Amit Brooklyn will take the search 6-4 and be up 2-0 quickly in this winner's final series.
Oh, man, the adjustments for them from the beginning of this map to the end were beautiful. Obviously, the first couple of rounds, they start off with a 2v4 that probably should have went in their favor. They give that one up. Then you get into the next round, you fall short on your attacking side. But then when you go back on the defense, another man advantage, and unfortunately you fall short. It's just when we got to the later half of this game is when they started to capitalize on those first bloods. They were reading the early pressure coming in from Craze to shut down that guy. You know, everyone else is basically a statue in the back of their spawn. They were just effectively finding trades, isolating people around the map. You even had a round when you got the cruise missile just for the info and you secure it. Omit just looked like the better team. Like when the going got tough in the mid-round.
What's good, Hybrid Lock?
They were able to make a lot better adjustments. Just simply.
Do you think the biggest mistake Boston made was putting Priest in a sub? All right, clip it and ship it, man. This is what I'm going to say about all this, dude. I think the biggest mistake Boston made was not inserting T-Dog Smitty into the starting rotation. Why didn't we put him on the starting roster from day one?
They look dominant, and I think they're.
Why didn't we just give T-Dog Smitty the keys?
Pretty much perfect to this point.
Yep.
To the whole roster, to the whole
Good
ship.
news for Space Esports, especially going into a control, which that was the one match.
Like, am I crazy for feeling that way? Like, I know we have Priest, who's a world champ. We got Beans, who's a Dammy dealer. And we got Snoopy, who's a young frog. And we got Major Maniac commanding the troops.
Not good news
But what's the
here
point of
for
having any of that when we have
Uh,
T-Dog
and-
Smitty sitting out here making
I don't
content the
wanna
full
say that
time?
it was,
I mean, we could just have him
good effort
playing.
This time around. It just felt
You
like
know?
the things they were getting away with last week, they weren't getting away with this week.
Unbelievable.
Like,
It was the
flat
biggest
out,
mistake we made, not putting
Brooklyn
T-Dog
were
Smitty
not
on the starting
allowed to
roster.
Make these greedy plays around the back. In fact, we opened this whole search and destroy with a double SMG hit from Amit through their spawn. Like,
Yep.
did not expect to see them pull that one out, but it definitely felt like one of those maps that Amit Brooklyn said, "You guys want to play weird? We'll play weird."
Yeah, and Purge is one of those guys who loves to play like that. We saw him in a bunch of these rounds where he's just aggressively pushing up on a solo mission and getting a lot more done than you would expect him to. It's a secure round for Omit. Just like if you're four space, that's not two maps in a row where, Alan, I can just tell that they're not fully in sync. Like, it's where you can see Craze hitting routes in the hard point, where his teammates weren't waiting for him in certain situations. Craze hitting route in search and destroy. Everyone was just sitting in the back of the spawn relying that he could get something done. But it's just simply not the case. And on a map like Invasion Control coming up next, if you don't have any teamwork, it's over in 3.
I agree. Could not have said it better myself. I mean, it's weird, man. I was expecting that these series were going to be kind of like we got in map number 1 of our elimination round 2. 3-point game. Both teams had great moments. That was the only instance we've really had. It just has not been up